Good evening people, it's Alfie Define. In this video basically it's dedicated to healing tinnitus, I think it's pronounced, and tonsillitis basically, because from my perception and from my experience and my knowledge, that basically it's your throat chakra opening and activating, and instead of like I did, I've experienced a lot. I've went to the doctor because obviously my glands were playing up, hurting, I was in pain, and I didn't know any alternative way of coping with the pain, I suppose. So I did go to the doctor for pain relief and antibiotics to rewind basically what's going on for my tonsillitis. I've never suffered with tinnitus as suffered because I've always been able to handle it, if you know what I mean, because I feel like I do get buzzing noises, I do get voices. I don't get like human voices and people talking, but it's like urges and my own thoughts, if you know what I mean. I'm sure you will do. And basically, like, I picked up a lot of stuff, but I've recently watched something on TV and it's made me think that these doctors are willing to prescribe medication, like i.e. the antibiotics, that's got more toxins in there than your own nutrition and your own bloody urine's got, and everyone wants to diss it and no one wants to know about it. And that's all good, but if you want to go down that road and then you get the medication, and I tell you what, your DNA is destroyed. If we don't start healing our DNA that we have got, we're going to be destroyed by the Illuminati and the people who want to ruin humanity in the wrong way, obviously, because I've also understood that in secret societies, when they cover up all this information, there is sometimes good reasons, but there's also reasons why they don't want to expose it, obviously. But it's not right to suppress the information about tinnitus and tonsillitis and what's going on with our own health. I think it's disgusting that the not really the NHS, because they're not knowledgeable in this. It's the people who hire the people on the top platform of flipping NHS or the banking system. They're the people who we want to be directing this accusations to, or the questions to, the Illuminati, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the people who run things, the Windsors who run things in England, who call themselves British when they're not. In fact, they're German, and they've got ancestors who are Germanic, and like, oh, it goes on and on. But basically, it's the people at the top. And like I said to Dr. Chen, there's a pyramid, and he knows, and I'm aware. There's a bottom and then there's a top, and we're at the bottom at the moment. We're gradually getting up there, but if we don't meet in the halfway through us all, through the corporations and maybe some of the government, if they don't meet in the way we want to meet, like with honesty, no suppression of education, bring Eastern knowledge to the West. Like, there's so much stuff out there that's suppressed that like it's getting actually delivered now in the West and other places, and people are actually interested to hear it because it makes people think, like, what's going on? Why didn't I know that? And it's because we've been suppressed from the real knowledge behind what's going on with the human body. Like in school, I wasn't taught about anything to do with energy and the body. I don't know if you may have done, but I was, maybe, I don't know why that was, but I was never told anything. All I got told was how to make bloody explosives and how to get chemicals to explode. So basically, yeah, I was programmed as a kid, like all the others, you know, to lose our mind, but but my mind state is good, so don't you worry. And basically, yeah, So if you want to heal the tonsillitis, you need the amethyst and the lapis lazuli. Basically scan, basically like a scanner, scan them over your throat chakra, because that's where your tonsillitis, also your glands, is hurting. And the tinnitus, because of the buzzing noises, and your basically I'll explain what the buzzing is. The buzzing basically is trying to tune into your frequency, your state of consciousness, your being, when that's why we're likely to be basically talked to, communicated by these spirits, yeah, when we're sleeping, because we're at that state of consciousness where we're just at peace and we're harmony. Like, we don't, unless you do kick out in your sleep, most of us have a nice sleep, and that's why we end up going into that state of being where we can actually relax and go into different gates and explore different dimensions when we're asleep, astro projection and stuff like that. But so yeah, if you want to use the something to relieve the pain of the tinnitus and the buzz noises, and to basically cleanse and to ease up that frequency tuning in, basically you can use the selenite stick, or selenite wand it's called, celestite, sorry, and you can scan that also over your ears maybe, and your back of the head and your throat, all over the upper chakra, 3, 4 chakras up here. If you scan that with the celestite stick, it will help the buzzing be more ease, basically. And so basically, yeah, what the buzzing noise is basically your spirit guides, ancestors, your loved ones, the spirits, the other dimensional beings, the whatever you want to call it, God, Jesus, Allah, bloody Buddha, whoever you want to call it. They're trying to tune into you, basically. And because the frequency that we're on and the frequency they're on, it's like a radio station moving channels, and the TV station moving channels. And it's also like I used to do a lot as a kid. It's like put my hand basically on the TV frame, you know, TV screen, so, and the static will connect to your hands, and that's how you communicate with the energies. But obviously that energy, that electrical energy, is a unique energy, and it's basically dedicated to be a TV. Unless it gets manipulated by another frequency, it can't, you know, it can't interact with you in that sense. So basically, yeah, it's like static, and that's why some people experience static hair, like I do sometimes. And the feel of static is basically another way of saying the spirit guides are trying to communicate with you. So if you're not near a TV screen and you are like when you're having a quiet moment on your own, and your hair feels static, and or you just feel like the shivers, basically, that's your spirit guide walking past, or that is your angels communicating. That is your gatekeepers trying to communicate with us. So for a bit of guidance from one being to another, please don't go to your GP or your doctor's surgery and ask for some medication, because they'll give you antibiotics, and the antibiotics, it's got so many toxic stuff in. It's more toxic than the urine could ever be. Like, people want to diss the urine therapy because it's got toxic in, or they perceive it as toxic, but it's not. And so the mass will understand what I'm getting at there, because like right now my right ear is buzzing at the moment, and it's turned down because I've I've cleansed it many times, but I've tuned in with them, or they've tuned in with me, sorry, and we're on this balanced level of I don't know how to say, a different, you know, the balance of energy, my energy and their energy are all balanced, and that's why I hear these bzzz or urges, and I usually feel the urges, and I feel hands touch my shoulders, but that's normally my spirit guides, you know, just say they're there or give me healing for myself, sort of stuff. And the tonsillitis as well, don't go to the GP. If I was you, I'd just go to a Reiki healer or some alternative healer who can help you to relieve this pain. And if you're not interested in spiritualism or communicating with the dead or other dimensions, and then what I suggest you to go and do is go to your GP doctor, ask for antibiotics, and go and drink some alcohol, and you'll be feeling alright in a few days' time. That's all I've got to say, because obviously if I've just wasted 10 minutes of my time trying to share my experience and what I've got, some wisdom and knowledge, and then be my guest, you can, but this is, this is what I've got to share. So thank you for listening, and yeah, so I suggest you go out and find that book as well. It's called Crystal Prescriptions by Judy Hall. You can find it in your local shops like Waterstones, etc. God bless, and thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and namaste. This healing is now for the tonsillitis and tinnitus. This healing is coming from myself. I'm able to open, activate and communicate with my guides. Also through my throat chakra, they do speak on my behalf. So if I take the mick out of something, I'm sorry. The humour, the humour comes from the spirit guides, and sometimes obviously they ain't human. So they interact in a different way. So yeah, in my last video I said a few words, and I've just watched it back, and I'm laughing at myself after, because I've just realised what I've said, and I didn't mean a few words at the end that I said. If you don't like spiritualism, or you don't want to communicate with the dead, you don't want to communicate with the cosmos, the other communications out there. Basically, I said you should go to your GP and have a drink and all that. But that's not. I shouldn't have said that, and sorry. I've told them off, and they accept why I'm not happy with what they said. So now I'm going to demonstrate a bit of my healing for the tonsillitis and tinnitus, and hopefully this will ease the communication with your spirit guides, and when they tune into your frequency, they'll do it easier, and you'll get a slower and quieter buzz, and then hopefully progress on that from there on. So thank you for understanding, and God bless. hope that helps. God bless.